Hey everyone, Paul Johnson from Waconia, Minnesota, and also part of the Laughing Trout Fly Tying Club. Kind of continuing on with my black pookie that I did last week, the terrestrial kick. And so this week we're going to be tying a hippie stomper. I think these are, again, either more beetles or crickets than they are hoppers. And so starting here in the summer in the driftless area would be a good fly to have in your fly box. I've seen all kinds of different sizes. I'm going to be tying it on a size 12. People will tie them down to size 16s and even maybe up to an 8 or a 10. So let's just walk through all the parts of the fly and then we'll tie it up real quick. So I'm tying mine on a size 12 hopper hook. For a tail, I do have moose body hair. The body of the fly is 2 pieces of foam, one red, one black, and I cut those out with a River Road beetle cutter, size 14 for this size 12 hook. For the body, I'm just using some red dubbing that I have. The wing is white widow's web or Congo hair. Legs are red and black, round rubber legs. And then the wing, if you will, is some grizzly hackle. So we'll get a hook and a vise, size 12 hopper hook. For a thread, I just have a spool of 8-aught uni in black. I'm going to start that right behind the eye of the hook and then lay a thread base to the back of the hook. Remove that excess tag. Continue wrapping, and I'm going to come back to about maybe the 60% point on the hook. And I've cleaned and stacked a clump of moose body hair. I want that to be, less than the hook shank in length. Tie that in, wrapping to the back of the hook. Then I'll come back forward and clip off that excess moose. Then return my thread to the base of the tail. And I've got 2 of these stamped out, one red, one black. The red is actually 2 millimeter. The black is 1.5 millimeter. And I wish I had it the other way around, but I don't have any 1.5 or 1, and red in 1.5 or 1 millimeter, which would actually be better. So just with that little tongue on that beetle cutter is where I'm going to tie that in. I want to just make sure we have it tied to the back, that we don't have a space in there. Now, I believe the original pattern, they used tinsel or some sort of mylar like Flashaboo. I like this red dubbing because I think I can hide some of my imperfections, if you will. Just some of the lumps and bumps of where that tongue is tied in from the foam. And then also that transition at the end of the tail with the moose body hair. It's kind of an abrupt end there, and it's a little hard to get tinsel to sit nicely over that. So I think that the dubbing actually works a little bit better. Now, I did tie in both pieces of foam together at the same time, but I am going to tie them in individually. So pull the red forward and under a little bit of tension, a couple gathering wraps. Then I'm going to jump ahead and further secure that and create kind of a big landing area, because we have legs and wing and hackle to all tie in area too. Now with the black, you do have to pull this even a little bit more than the red, so that has to stretch just a little bit more to kind of even up the front of the fly with it. Again, tying down that same pretty good landing area, if you will. Now I've got a clump of white poly yarn. This happens to be Congo hair. And tie that in that same landing spot. And we're going to trim quite a bit of that off as we get a little bit further into the fly. I've got red round rubber legs, red and black, and pinch it between my forefinger and my tying thread, and then I can just roll it right into place. Get that tied in good. Spin my vise around, grab the other one, and I'll trim these to length when the fly is done. Kind of a lot going on here. You got a lot of wings sticking up, trying to get those legs tied in. And now for the collar, or whatever you want to call it, I do have a oversized rooster hackle. This is grizzly. And I'll make 3 or 4 turns with this hackle right between where the legs are. Secure that with my tying thread. I'll get rid of that excess feather. Kind of lift everything up. Get to the right behind the eye. And I'm just coming to do some half hitches. Could get in there with the whip finish tool. Half hitches, or I can pull everything back. A little bit easier. All right, so that's the finished fly. Now I'm going to come in here and with the back wing, cut it maybe halfway down the body. And then the front wing, about a hook shank in length. And I'll just even up the legs, front and back. And lastly, I'll come in and I'm going to cut off that hackle, which just killed me to cut good hackle. But we do want to cut that flush so that fly rides a little bit lower in the water. So a good pattern to have here, or anywhere, but here in the driftless, fish it all summer long. You can put any type of a dropper that you want underneath there. It's float really well with 2 layers of foam and also the tail of the moose body. So that's it, the finished Hippie Stomper. Thanks for watching.